Hey everyone, Zach Finds Fish here, and today you're in my garage. We're gonna do another vlog, but this time I'm going to be cleaning my garage. I want to get it all set up because as of right now, as you can see, I have my fishing poles hung up here. If you guys want to know, these are just PVC pipes. I actually spray painted this one black, but they're just PVC pipes cut down, screwed into my garage to be able to hold my lines. The only thing I gotta watch out for when you slide them through, you gotta watch the eyes here so they don't get clipped on that. But I kind of made my own little holders here. I got my tackle and stuff right up here. But what I want to do is right now those white cabinets over there is where I hold all of my tackle boxes. And I actually, as you can see, the garage is a mess. But we're gonna clean up the garage, and where that little bike cart is, I want to clean it up, and that's where I'm going to actually create my own little fishing section. I'm going to put some pegboards over there. I'm going to hang my fishing poles over there, and as I acquire more, that's going to be my spot. Because we have a 2-car garage, but really, I mean, it's really a car and a half. You can't fit 2 in here and get out of the car. So what I'm going to do, this is just a little vlog. I'm going to listen to some music. I'm going to clean up, but you're not going to have to watch the whole thing. So you're going to watch me sped up, cut some of that out, and hopefully it'll be clean. So let's get to work.
So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
So again, this is gonna be a multiple day video, so we're probably gonna so you guys don't have to watch the whole process. In the next part, after this, I'll walk you out here and kind of show you what I've done to clean it up, and then I'll take you guys to Lowe's to get some pegboards, some of those pegs, those metal pegs, and go from there. This is February 8th. The next time I record, hopefully it's sooner than later, but there'll be a date on screen to let you guys know where we're at in the timeline. So, see you guys in a second. And welcome to sort of a clean garage. I have it different. It's organized a little bit differently. Things we're still trying to sell. Kind of just scooted things over because I'm gonna be working over here now. I'm gonna bring you guys over here. So right now I have it. This cabinet's gonna go up here, and then we're gonna have the whole wall. Okay, the whole wall is gonna be a pegboard. But today, since I'm not doing the whole thing, today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this shelf or this cabinet hung up and do some of that. So I got my miter saw. I'm gonna cut some 2x4 to get some studs in between here so I can securely hang my cabinet here, because I think it's gonna hang over some a little bit this way, and I really just want to make sure, because basically what I want is my pegboard to start here. So really my cabinet's gonna be over just a little bit, so I need to get a stud here to secure it into this versus it just being on this stud here. So I'm gonna cut that, and I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so here's my little stud. And again, I'm going to put it kind of like in the middle, because this is such a large cabinet. So this is a 39-inch cabinet. This will kind of just be like a work, because I don't want to cut it too much. And I'll just be using drywall screws. They're strong, and this isn't gonna really be holding too much weight. It's gonna be probably just a lot of tackle boxes, maybe my bag, I'm not really sure, but it's not gonna necessarily hold a bunch of weight. And if I can screw into part of the stud and this, we'll be fine. All right, so that should work. It's a little bit more of a gap than I would like. But again, this wood is twisted up here, so I really can't do anything about that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my drill, and I'm gonna drill holes into the side of this to get something going here so I can get it started. And really, this doesn't need to be perfect. So I think right there is pretty good. I'm gonna leave it right there for right now. Guess not. All right, so just an eyeball test, right? Just kind of trying to get it into the center of the wood. I think that's gonna be just fine to hold that up. So I'm gonna secure it on this one and then work on the other side. So I have a problem just because with that thing. So it's gonna be a little bit more tricky, but we should be fine. So that gap is unfortunate, but once I get this screwed in here, it should be fine. It's just because this wood is so twisted. And then what I have, I'll show you guys in a second once I finish that stud, I have some it's cabinet backing, which I think you guys will see in another day. But I'm gonna hang up the pegboard here, and then on the bottom, I'm gonna have some cabinet backing, so it's gonna be all white, kind of look finished. Once the stud is in, what I'm gonna do is I have some more 2x4. I'm gonna drill at the bottom here, but not to cut, and I'm going to set the cabinet on there so it'll be easy since I'm by myself. Don't mind if it's a little bit lower. So going like this, and it'll help me so when I prop it up, I can have leverage right here. All right, one more measurement. It shifted when I screwed it in, so. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up there. I'm gonna have to scoot this out a little bit more, I think. All right. So the biggest thing now is I want to make sure my stud is showing. So I need to scoot this over some more. Like that. No, like that. I'm gonna have the wife come downstairs really quickly.
Like right now, right now?
Like right now, right now.
Okay,
bye. All right. And then basically what I'll do is once I get the pegboard here, I'm gonna have to cut it. So this length is about 7. I'm gonna say 7/4 or something like that. But all right, I need to drill one more hole. All right. I mean, really, that should not go anywhere. There's a minor hiccup. So on the bottom of the cabinets, I didn't realize. You'll see right. I don't know if you guys can because you guys are so far back. But there's little plastic like feet, so when the cabinets are sitting on the ground, they're a little bit off the ground, so it doesn't damage the cabinet. Long story short, only one of the back sides had the plastic step, like the little plastic foot, so it made it actually a little bit crooked, even though it was level once I put a wedge in. So what I did is I took it off. Now it's flat. I've had to screw some new holes because since I shifted it, it made it off of this stud. But otherwise, it's basically done. So it took a lot longer than expected, but I'm such a perfectionist. Granted, it bothers me a little bit that there's so many holes. So here, again, you guys were so far back, but since I shifted it a little bit, all of these, I mean, they're still there, but since I shifted it, the holes are gonna be a little bit off from the back one. So I just drilled some new holes. But otherwise, I mean, it's not gonna go anywhere. And then eventually, what will happen is this cabinet will be the start of where the pegboard is. So I'm gonna remove this spot here, get rid of that 2x4 there. Eventually what I'll probably do is, because this will be the end here, it should go all the way to the end here, which will be perfect. And so I'll be able to drill my spacers here, and then every other stud I'm gonna add more spacers so there's no flimsiness to the pegboard. But otherwise, now it's time, oh, and then actually really quickly, so this is some cabinet backing, which a small piece here, but there's more boxes of it underneath. You can kind of see boxes here. I'm gonna put it underneath where the cabinet starts so it looks a little bit finished from underneath the pegboard over. And all right, now we're gonna head to Lowe's. Actually, there's a few things I need to do before we head to Lowe's. I got my saw out again. I actually need to cut some studs here for when I hang up my fishing pole. So actually what I'm going to do is, where my plan is, I'm going to hang my fishing poles here. It's going to be going up vertically. And so I don't need a stud here because I'm just going to drill into the floor down here. However, I've already kind of marked it. This is kind of where there's I got a little pen mark, or some permanent markers right here, where my eyelets kind of separate. So within this gap is where I can have a stud go across. And when I do my fishing pole holder, which you guys will see in another video, completely different video, just to kind of show you how to. It's a how-to video, how to make a fishing pole holder with one single PVC pipe. But we're gonna do that at a later time, but I need studs to be able to drill in along these areas, because I'm not gonna be hanging drywall here. I'm actually gonna be hanging some cabinet backing here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut some wood here for those studs and get those drilled into there. So let's get to cutting. Again, they don't have to be perfect. They're just, again, to hold just a fishing pole. Perfect. Again, it doesn't need to be snug. So I'll just be using, again, drywall screws. Nothing crazy. Again, it's not holding a lot of weight. Again, no professional, but. All I did was drill at an angle, and now we have screws going in, and we'll go into that stud over there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna drill a hole through this stud now to get leverage here, so I can actually drill these farther. And I don't think it sticks out too far. It'll be interesting once I get it hung up. So actually what I might do is I might do one angle, because those are harder to get through, and then two sides. That's what I think I'm gonna do. All right, I think that's pretty straight. Not a lot of space. Didn't put a big enough hole. I didn't really go center on that, so the top one will have to go a little bit deeper. But it should work. Again, I just wanted to be able to hold it up there right now. I only have 3 poles. So they're gonna be all lined up here. I mean, this is a total of, so this is 14, let's just say that's 12, 26 inches of room for fishing poles, and then I have these extra 2 inches here. So what is that, 30 inches of fishing poles? That's plenty for right now. So again, not structural, right? So I'm not going to be putting heavy loads on this. This is just for, I'll have a fishing pole, holder here. Not gonna show you guys how I'm doing it yet. Fishing pole holders down here across these 2 spots. And then these are just gonna hold the top of my fishing pole, right? So it doesn't fall backwards. So this will be fine. Doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be super stable, but it works. So again, super simple. But this is the cabinet backing. And so again, from here, I do it from here because up here the studs are twisted. These down here aren't too bad, but it's 94.5 roughly. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm really not particular with how the backing looks. I do know I want to make it so I can put another piece of cabinet backing right here to make it all look fluid. But this doesn't have to be perfect. So my idea is I'll cut it 94.5 and then use this side to be tucked in that side so it doesn't look cut up. I'm gonna measure 94.5, draw a line across, and then I'm gonna cut. All right, so it's cut. Let's see. Probably should have flipped it over, but again, that's gonna be tucked in the corner. And I still have another one to cut, so I'll be cutting up here too. Really, I should have cut them both at the same time, but it works. It's done. And we're gonna see if we can hang it up there and see what it looks like. All right, so now what my plan is, what I'm gonna do just temporarily is get some, like a finish nail up top, maybe 2, maybe probably just 1, just to hold the corner so I can make sure this is level before I really kind of get it set into the wood. Because that's the one thing I really want to make sure is when I put another piece of wood up here, that it's all straight across. That's my main goal. Quarter the way down, get our level. So I'm probably gonna end up here for this part of the video. Again, this is multiple days. This is February 26th, so this is Monday after the Outdoor Rama. So next part of this video will be me putting this part up and getting that all squared away up here. Again, 94.5. Looks pretty good so far. And then I'll end up cutting out a small section right here just to fit underneath the cabinet, so that looks finished. And yeah, it's starting to look really good. So I'll see you guys in the next part. All right, well now you guys can officially see what I have done. So in the last video, so today is March 15th. So it's been a while since the last time I recorded and actually worked on this. However, when the last video, we put this on, we got everything set up for that and just kind of got it all put back together. But today we're not doing, well, actually we might do pegboard today too, but that'll be later. I have some shelving brackets here that I want to hang up. I'm gonna hang this right here. It's gonna be like this. But these are folding brackets, and what will happen is the board will lay right here, and it'll be obviously screwed in, and you can fold it down, which will be nice. So it'll be along the lines of like this. So it'll be like this on the wall, and then you lift it up, and it snaps in, and it lifts, which I think is gonna be pretty stellar. So I'm gonna go grab my pencil. I'm gonna grab my level, which is right there. I'm gonna grab a pencil, and we're gonna start measuring this out. Now what I need to do is mark kind of like the middle of this stud and go down, because that's where my next bracket's gonna be, so right there. And so my idea for this is I'll at least get one in and it'll be able to sway. And what I'll do is I'll get the piece of wood on and make sure that's level. Now this wood, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be level either. I don't actually think it's probably not level, but let's test this out. Be careful because it is not on all the way. So right now it's showing that it is, let me see, just slightly unlevel. Shoot. So, and that's the thing, is like it's drywall. This isn't drywall, so I can't really necessarily redo it, but honestly, I think it could be the wood. Like it kind of looks like it's bowing. Let me put it over here. I think it's the wood. I think it kind of bows down. So it is what it is. So I think that's good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you guys what I want to do with this, and my plan is I want to. Let me make sure you guys can see me. Is I'm actually gonna cut out with my little like circle saws for my drills. I'm gonna cut out a little circle here, and like we'll make it a little half circle. So when I want to change line or whatnot, my plan is to keep it there. Like if I'm working on one, I can put my tackle here, right? I can put my tackle right here. Got the line down. Start my line, tie it up. And I think it's going to work really well. So I'll have I want to do a couple circles here to rest my poles on. So we're going to do that now. Here we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. There's my shelf with my fishing pole holder. This one like this. There you go. That's pretty dang cool. This, I'm just getting into fishing, so like realistically, this pegboard's probably gonna be empty for a while, but I have an artist friend. She's gonna paint it up. It's gonna look really cool. She's not necessarily designing me a logo, but she is making a ZFF kind of logo. And that's going to be on the pegboard and things like that. So, again, be like this. Now, granted, not with the sleeve, but I'll have my pegboard up. My only concern is if it is not level, but I know there's a little bit of give in this wood. So I do think it's the wood. That looks pretty good. So there's my fishing section almost fully set up. The only thing I need left to do is the pegboard and my fishing poles, which will be over here. So I'll kind of have them set up like this. took this up off the ground like that, I'm most likely gonna head to Lowe's, and I honestly won't take you guys with me here. There's no reason for you guys to come, but I'm gonna go to Lowe's, and there's gonna be a pegboard here, and then we're gonna try to get that hung up. So I'll see you guys in a second. And there she is. Now we need to get it up here. So now I need to measure, I think it was 94.5. I think I did 94.5. The reason why I wanted to go with the full board is so I didn't have any splits in it. So it was just all one fluid board. And but we're gonna get it up there now. So what I'm gonna do is I need to cut this down, and then I can rest it up on the shelf, which will help me have leverage. So I'm gonna do that. That's pretty dang good. And so now what I need to do, that was tough. And now what I need to do is see how high I want it off of this, because I can't have it resting on it because I won't be able to shut this. The thing I might do is just actually use this extra piece of wood as like a platform for it, so I can just have a, like kind of like a steady, you know, this is probably 2 inches. This is a 2x4. No, this is like a 2x6. So do something like this, lift it up on it so I can mark where I want it, and then put my markers in, make sure it's level, and then put my markers in. I'm gonna grab some painter's tape and tape it up there so I can actually see it. The next thing I need to do is I do think I need to put that white piece up there, get that on there, because it's gonna be, there's like maybe a ½ inch that the pegboard is actually above my other white backing. So that's what I'm gonna need to do. So I need to get the nail gun going, and I just need to put that up there because it's gonna extend a little bit farther than the cabinet, but that's fine. I mean, it should just be able to, well now it won't, because I'll have to put the tape, I'll have to move the tape. But that will slide right up there, and I think it'll be good. All right, now that I got that up there, now it's the whole leveling part. I need to make sure it's level before I mark holes for my board. So now what I need to do is carefully, hopefully you guys can see me. I think you guys can. Let me make sure. The spacer in between the pegboard, just enough to where it doesn't shift my board, but I can actually probably have to screw this in just a little bit. This is where like the tedious part comes into play. Hope you guys are having fun watching this. I need to make sure the top part is still level. We are almost done, guys. Really, the moral of the story of this video is I just wanted to show that, like, if I can do it, you guys can do it. Because I feel like I'm pretty handy. But again, a lot of this is just DIY, just ideas on the fly, just you know, and this is just a project. It's fun. You know, I've been struggling to catch fish. You know, Zach finds fish is Zach not finding fish. And it's been just kind of fun to do this because today is beautiful, but it was still cold, and tomorrow's gonna be cold, and then Sunday is gonna be back down in the 30s. So right now, having something like this to do has been a lot of fun for me. So again, if you guys enjoyed this content, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're almost done here, and we'll go over what the plan is for once we finally get everything set up. All right, so actually we're gonna wrap this up because I have to finish putting more of the spacers on, and honestly, you guys probably don't really want to see that. So here she is. Let me clear it out here so you guys can actually see what it's gonna be like. Whew, this was fun. This was definitely a fun project. A lot of work. But here it is. It's got a nice little collapsible shelf like this. Get the last one over here. Let it slowly fall. There's that. That's nice, right? That's pretty slick. And then eventually what I'll do is my poles are gonna go here. And they're gonna go all the way up. But otherwise, you guys have now seen my entire project. And as I work on it more and more, I'll definitely do some vlogs. But here it is. Got everything set up. Got my own little cabinet. It was definitely a fun little project, and I really enjoyed it. So again, if you guys enjoyed this content, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. It was fun. Let me know if you have a little fishing setup somewhere in your house, in your garage, in your closet, whatever you got. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. I'm sure that sun is bright. See you guys.